What's up guys, it's Sunday, which means it's time for a market update, and this week is going to be a special one, and I think you know why. But first of all, like and subscribe, I'll really appreciate that, and let's get into the video just quickly as we should. Yeah, this week was not a pretty week, surely not for the investors and people holding crypto, because where were we last Sunday? Yeah, Saturday, Sunday? Almost a 20% dump on Bitcoin. Ethereum didn't get spared. It does look a little bit less, yeah, amazing or big as on Bitcoin, because we had a pretty sharp uptrend here. Then boom, while Ethereum was just we were ranging a bit, and then we'll see what happens. Of course, they also dumped from last Saturday more than 20%, even almost 30%, which is huge. Solana didn't get spared, altcoins didn't get spared, because if I can show you quickly the market cap of total, let's do even without Bitcoin and Ethereum dropped 12%. So Bitcoin and Ethereum did drop harder than altcoins, but let's just focus on Bitcoin right now. We're on the daily. You see that we made a new low compared to this low, though we didn't sweep this level, which is bad in my opinion, because this would have been more liquidity, but it's alright. And of course we show a reaction. That's just logical. We dumped through so many levels, so many people got liquidated, so many stop losses got hit, so many. It's just a snowball effect which is come to an end now. Of course we can still dump further, but we make a low, and then you see local structure gain hold, and we're gaining right now, and it maybe doesn't look that big because we don't that much, but on Sunday and Saturday pump of 3.5%, that just means that in this zone there was liquidity, buying pressure, and people are interested in longs here. If you look in terms of levels, of course you have a hold here, though I find this too risky. If they come back here, it could very well sweep this level, or if you look on the 4 hour, also look at this level here. Yeah, start of this pump. So that's locally what we're looking at. Bitcoin has a lot to do to even go back to the top of this range, because if we zoom out a bit more, it was just what a week, 20% dump. Bitcoin is not going to recover from this in like the next 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks even, unless we see something crazy happen, which I don't really expect. We're going to be in the 60,000 range for a while, just some time. And it's not over. I mean, we show a reaction here, but that's just completely normal. I said it in the video I uploaded on Thursday about 3 beginner mistakes that people think, oh, we're in a downtrend, just short. There are no long opportunities, that's not possible. But when we sweep a level, okay, we didn't sweep it technically, but we're in a zone, an important zone where liquidity lays, you're going to get a strong reaction. Let's say we're even in a 60% dump in 2 weeks or something, we were still going to be a reaction. This was perfectly tradable. I didn't take it because I was a chicken wing. Not that I was scared to dump further, but I also thought, what if this was the pump and we are going to dump lower? So I didn't take the trade, but it was tradable. I can still jump in the retest, but that's not the topic of this video. So Bitcoin, has a lot of work to do. It might not even be over the dump. It was a very scary week, but if you think rationally behind this, there's nothing really to panic about. Of course, if you bought at $80,000 or above, that's surely not nice. Yeah, your portfolio is under the water, you're losing money, of course, but I think if you're honest with yourself and you say, okay, no, I'm investing for the long term, I don't need the money right now, you shouldn't be panicking. If you're panicking, then you invested for the short term, or you need the money, you invested too much money, and then you have to be honest with yourself and reflect and say, yeah, I took too many risks, and this can be the outcome of investing. Now, I could see Bitcoin showing a bigger pump immediately to the $67,000 seems a bit too strong, but it depends on how the Sunday closes. If the Sunday, if you look at the 4 hour, this is your move to the low, of course. If we can close above this on Sunday, which is still, what, 2%? And Sunday we're already at 2.5%. If that happens, then we can maybe see some sort of pullback and reaction on the Monday and early this week. Maybe we go back to the 67,000. It's surely possible, but I wouldn't say we gained this level, okay, we're back in the uptrend, or we gained this level. Bitcoin has a lot to do, I would really say Bitcoin has to go back at least this zone here, to the 74,000, okay, maybe this zone 72,000, to say, okay, we could recover it from this crash and we can maybe look for new highs. Until then, it's not looking well, and we can surely even make new lows. If you zoom out on the weekly, we've swept and we took out literally anything in this bull run to new all-time highs. But these two levels are important. I don't think we'll drop to 52k and then 38,000. That's not the case, but if we go down here and we come here, it's going to get very heated, because of course you may still think in bull run bear run case, which is fine I guess. And to explain it in your lingo, if we don't hold this level, then this can be a very nasty bear run and we can literally go back anywhere. $38,000, why not? $26,000, why not? I'm not saying it's happening, I'm just saying it's possible, because if we see more selling pressure here, that means that if institutions, governments, all those market makers who invested in this zone say, this crash is too risky, I'm just going to de-risk and I'm going to sell. And when they sell, retail will follow. First of all, it's a snowball effect, and second of all, there's not really anyone to hold the chart, because why does Bitcoin normally don't drop back to this level is because those big players hold, I wouldn't say the majority, but a lot of Bitcoin, and they're in for the long game. They don't care, their positions here. They don't care if Bitcoin pulls back here or here, so they hold. But if they end up selling, which doesn't happen overnight, it's not like a decision, oh yeah, it's not looking good, let's sell everything. That's not the case, of course, if I may seem like that was. But if they start selling, then it's time to panic. But for now, I wouldn't say it's time to panic, but just know that we're in a very nasty downtrend since all-time high. Because yeah, we showed a great reaction here on the daily. I know weekly there are a lot of levels, but we showed a nice reaction from the first dump, 40%. But if you look on the bigger picture, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So that's why I'm saying a pullback to even 70,000 can just be a higher low. And that's why you should zoom out and don't think, oh, with this reaction, okay, phew, we're done. That's not the case. But enough for Bitcoin, I guess. Let's look at Ethereum, and Ethereum already showed it. Yeah, sweep something, show the reaction, is showing a reaction even bigger than Bitcoin. But yeah, Ethereum also has a lot of work to do if you look on the daily. Yeah, has to close above the 2000 to say we might be reversing from trend, because until then everything, even just a strong pump on the day, let's say Monday pumps 8%, which would us have here, I mean that's nothing. 8% is a big pump and we would be there. So Ethereum also doesn't look like yeah, Ethereum will be back above the 2000 soon, or if they are, it's still not a certainty that we're back to all-time highs. If you zoom out, ignore the many levels, of course. We see that Ethereum is not that far away from 2022 bear run. Another, what, 30% dump? Okay, 30% dump is not going to happen overnight, but if you compare it to Bitcoin, that's a big difference. And Ethereum, I don't want to say that or this or that, but Ethereum has been lacking if you compare it to Bitcoin for the past months. If you saw this pump and this pump, it's just in percentage wise, it's not as big as Bitcoin. Don't want to say Ethereum is dead or this and that, but I think if you invest in Ethereum or you hold any Ethereum, you may have to rethink, because from a price action perspective, Ethereum is just, it's worth to trade, of course, but to invest, I mean, we made an all-time high on Ethereum, but if you compare it to this, it's basically just copy paste this with a bit more candlesticks and we have the same. Do you want to invest in a coin that's coming back to here? And then, of course, you can buy here and sell high. I'm not saying that, but if you bought like in this range, let's say mid-range, and this coin drops fully to this level again and then pumps, maybe makes a new all-time high in the coming years, but do you want to wait so much? Okay, it's a nice pump. It's almost 4x, but it goes here and then goes back here. And of course, if you position precisely and without emotion, etc., there's still money to make. But then maybe look at Bitcoin or even Solana, which follows Bitcoin and just makes bigger gains. But that would be me if I invest in Ethereum. Ethereum is still a good coin, but as I mentioned, also a crazy waterfall. They're showing reaction right now. It would be nice if they can get to the 1700 on the Monday or early next week. Still need a 4% pump, which is possible after this dump. And then we can talk. And I often mention when you see a waterfall like this, and we sweep something and there's enough liquidity, enough buying pressure, then we can also see a, what is that, a waterfall, a ladder up, just also a strong pump, because all of this is just a waterfall. So if this gains this, then we trigger all those stop losses we shorted and liquidations, and then it's just a way back up. It's the same as going down. So while I did say on Bitcoin I don't expect price to do anything soon or switch from trend, that's also my main take on Ethereum. I'm just saying that we could easily, I'm not saying it's happening, but this could be possible that next week we're here again, and that's from the bottom, a 10%, 20% pump even. And then we're here, we sweep this, and we make new lows. You really have to be careful. On Ethereum, I would aim at $2,000. Bitcoin, I don't know what I said. I said what, $75,000, $72,000. Until then, and you may get FOMO, then you may think, oh, price is gaining, we're here just long, and then price sweeps this, and we make new lows. So, sorry that I'm saying that much, but I just want to say a pump here, even 10% doesn't mean anything if there's no follow-up. There's a magic word again, follow-up. No, we have to gain certain important levels before we switch from trend, and there's no reason to panic, but I understand that if you're invested in spot in Ethereum or Bitcoin, this is not a nice situation, but currently it is what it is. You have to sit out, and there should be still gains to be made soon. And yeah, why not invest in Ethereum here? That's my personal thing. If you don't hold Ethereum, why not? It's a major discount, one of my favorite words. If you look at this chart, if you say I'm not buying right now, then where are you buying? Are you buying here? Are you buying here? Here in a downtrend? I understand we're in a downtrend, but Ethereum realistically is not going to drop to $800. I mean, the bottom has to be this. Even if you sweep this, I would be surprised, and you can call me out for that if in case Ethereum does this. I don't think Ethereum goes back below the 1,000 or 1,300, 200, even though we're close. So why not just scale in Ethereum? Don't go all in, but who knows? Because there are surely gains on the table, and I don't expect Ethereum to drop another 50%. I mean, it's possible in theory, but if you see Bitcoin, Ethereum below $1,000, then more people than just you and I are going to panic. Moral of the story, Ethereum has a lot to do, but it's looking good. I mean, we can see a local pump next week, why not? But that might not mean anything in the bigger picture. Then gold, and gold has also dumped. I believe that this was also influenced by news like results from the CPI, not CPI, but what's the name, whatever. They're not that good, and then we saw dump, and of course snowball effect kinda plays from Bitcoin and crypto to gold, but gold is doing okay. Of course, gold is not going to drop 30% like this, like Bitcoin did. It's looking okay. I mean, still nothing to be scared of, but yeah, gold also is going in that crucial phase where if you don't hold this, then we have a problem. And then if you don't hold this, yeah, just new lows, 4,000. And of course, we saw this crazy uptrend. People who are positioned here have nothing to worry about. And of course, they're not really bear and bull runs in gold that you say, oh, we're in the bear run, made the top, we're going to dash back to here. Of course not, but gold, it's in a downtrend. You have to be honest with yourselves. You don't have to think that one sweep here and we're back in this crazy rally. That crazy rally was generational, and we're not going to see that happen anytime soon anymore. Because surely at the price where we're at now, right now, if you say, oh, gold dumps to the 2000 randomly, of course, then we can see strong pumps, but not right now. It's not like in 2 weeks we're going to back at all-time highs, 30% pump. It's not going to happen. If you zoom in, we have this level to sweep, but I don't really think that's going to hold. And then we have this box. This box surely has some potential to make a reversal. If not, then it's the next box, $4,000, which is yeah, this level. Local trading opportunities are there for gold. I would look for continuation shorts for the moment. Why not? Yeah, short here. But also longs, of course. Longs are always possible in the downtrend. If you sweep this, I wouldn't instant long on this level, because yeah, chance of price immediately sweeping your stop loss is high. But you can do on what Bitcoin perfectly did is wait for the gain on the hold and then long. Is perfectly what you could do on gold on this level, but surely on this level. So yeah, for gold it's a bit of the same story, downtrend, but gold can more easily recover than Bitcoin and Ethereum because they don't like crazy. But I think I've said everything. I think I'm repeating things, so I think that's it for the video. Yes, it was a scary week. Should you be scared? In my opinion, not, but I understand that this was a heavy week. Ethereum below the $1,700, Bitcoin almost below $60,000. I understand those are scary times. Surely if you're maybe new to crypto or just started watching when it was at 80,000 or at all-time highs, then surely it's scary because we dropped 50%. But on the bigger picture for now, there's still nothing to worry about, but it's just not looking good. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.